Hi everyone, this is AJ and welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new movie review. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the new film that's just dropped on Netflix, Interceptor. So let's talk about this film. Okay, so it's not often these days that we actually get a Die Hard rip-off, so I'm always interested when there's like a Die Hardy type of a film come about. I wasn't aware of this film. I did see it advertised the other week, well, about a week ago, and I watched the trailer and I thought, oh, I'll take a look at that when it comes on. It runs for 1 hour 36 minutes and is directed by Matthew Riley, and is also written by Matthew Riley and Stuart Beattie. The film is actually executive produced by Chris Hemsworth and stars his wife, Etsa Patake as J.J. Collins, Captain J.J. Collins, and Luke Bracey as Alexander, who's the film's main antagonist. Now, this film, the setup for this film is basically that there's these two interceptor stations, one far up north inland and one out in the sea on like a sort of rig. And if the Russians were to fire nuclear weapons over to America, it would take about 24 minutes for them nuclear warheads to reach the land, and halfway along at these interceptor stations, that as long as they launch within about 12 minutes they can intercept these nuclear warheads. So as the film progresses, as we open up, we learn that one of these interceptor stations has been basically taken offline. People there have been killed, all this sort of a thing. This is the one inland up north, and at the same time a load of nuclear warheads have been stolen within Russia. So there's this element of individuals that want to basically start nuclear war. And so we're introduced to Captain J.J. Collins, the main star of the role, the Bruce Willis role of the film, played by Etsa Patake. Now, she's a woman with a sort of troubled history within the armed forces, in that she's taken down a high-up individual because she was sexually harassed and all this sort of a thing, and inappropriately touched and all that, and so thematically it's touching upon these elements of female empowerment that the film really doesn't need to go into. It adds nothing to the story whatsoever. And then basically this rig is taken over by terrorists who want to get into the launch centre, destroy it, so that there's no way of stopping these nuclear warheads. And there you go. That's the basis for this film. I was intrigued by it because essentially Die Hard on an oil rig, or on a rig, not an oil rig, but on a rig out at sea. You're taken away from any help. You're isolated. You know, so it's an interesting concept. However, the execution is completely where this film fails. It's got a minuscule cast, right? Most people on this rig are taken out with words, in that they're taken out and you're just told about it. You don't see it happen or anything like this. So you got a very minimal cast. Not only that, the film is very set-bound. It's very, very set-bound. It isn't until about 1 hour and 5 minutes into the film that you actually get out of these two rooms. What happens is you start off in this main room, or you're in this sort of control centre. They're a little bit elsewhere in some offices, but there's this control centre. Your main characters get locked in there while the bad guys are locked outside, and they're trying to make their way in. So a lot of it is just chatter back and forth for this first 1 hour and 5 minutes of the film. It isn't until that time that the movie opens up into other areas. So it does feel a very sort of small scale, low budget type of a film in this sense. The sets are okay. That's all I can say. They're okay. I struggled with Patake's language, with her accent within the film. Now, this is an actress that I have seen before. She's been in a few of the Fast and Furious films. Even though I've seen them, I wouldn't place her in there. But yeah, so unfortunately, this film fails in the fact that it's cheap. The acting isn't particularly great. It's not overly exciting. I was actually dozing off during the first hour of the film. A few times my eyes shut, and yeah, it just wouldn't open. Now there is a big cameo appearance within the film from a relatively famous actor who you can probably guess at this stage. But yeah, one I could say don't bother watching. It's not very good. You won't lose anything by not watching it. It's a very middle of the road movie. It's not dire. It's not fantastic. It's just there, sort of hovering around that sort of middling sort of. Yeah, it's all right for a one-time watch, but I won't revisit it. I feel the need to have it on physical media or anything like that. So there you go. Yeah, I do feel like I've sort of wasted maybe 96 minutes watching that. And like I said, it just had this message of men bad, women good, which you don't need. Come on, a lot of films have had strong female leads in them before all this stuff coming about with female empowerment. Look at Terminator, look at Aliens. You've always had strong female characters in film and in TV. It doesn't need to be rammed down your throat. They just need to be there without any sort of message required. Let's just have them without a message. That's all we want. It's AJ. Thanks for watching. Sorry I'm a bit sniffly. Hay fever season. Hate it. And yeah, it's just it's time. I need to get into the garden as well. I'm not doing it. I'm sending the wife. You can see my eyes are like flaring up as well now. Horrible time of year for me. Anyway, this is AJ. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.